Hey guys, it's Sarah with Straight Up Homeschool. I'm here today to go over my 7th grade curriculum picks. I can't believe I have a 7th grader, but I promise it'll be fun. I'll try to keep it interesting and brief. I'm not going to do full reviews. I'm just going to give little highlights of why I picked the curriculum or anything that stands out to me. I also have a few surprises in there, so brace yourself, be prepared. It might get a little wild. Okay, keep in mind also that everybody's homeschool is going to look a little bit different. And that's the beautiful thing about homeschool, that we can tailor our child or children's education to their learning styles, to our teaching styles, and just it's really, really beautiful. So we don't need to feel insecure. I'm here to offer suggestions or inspiration, and yeah, we're all going to be different and unique, and that is wonderful, and we can all support each other. Okay, so keeping that in mind, I'm keeping that in mind. Let's get started on the 7th grade curriculum picks. All right, we're kicking it off with language arts. Our language arts is a little bit messy this year, but we will get through it, so hang in there with me. We're starting with IEW. This is the Journeys in Writing book. We did IEW last year, the Medieval Knights one, and I don't love IEW, but it works. And so we're doing it again. My son was young when he did it last year, and so we're just gonna kind of hammer down on those same concepts. We do outsource a teacher for it because I am not super confident in writing. I'm like, where should we add some commas? I'll just like throw some in where they look good. Okay, it's not that bad, but that's kind of how I feel about it. I just start second guessing myself. So we're gonna do this. IEW, I'm thinking it's going to be the last year we do it. It's just very methodical, which works great for my son, who is very logical and methodical. Basically, you write and you go through and you add in all these different things for each step. So you start writing and then you go back in and you like add an ly verb, add a strong verb, add an ly adverb. Okay, so it's just kind of complicated. We made these little signs just so he could have a visual and like go over what he was doing, but it's just kind of a tedious way to write, but it did hugely equip him to be a better and more skilled writer. So I'm super thankful for it, and that's why we're doing it again this coming year. It just, for me, it kind of takes the love out of writing or the feeliness out of writing, but it did just really give him the tools and like the knowledge of like, oh, I have to write a paper. Okay, this is how I'm going to do it. Like it kind of gives you that blueprint. So I'm super thankful for that, and I'm so glad we outsource it. So that's what we're doing for writing. For grammar and the other portion of language arts, we are using the Good and the Beautiful. We didn't use the Good and the Beautiful last year, and I missed it. But we're not going to do the writing portions, or maybe we will do part of a writing assignment, but we're not going to do everything. So I'm kind of, piecemealing it together. And, oh, I wanted to share something with you. So last year, the IEW, the writing portion, it got progressively harder as the year went on. I would say in January, it was taking a lot more time each day, and my son isn't the best typer. We're gonna try touch type read spell, but he's not the best typer, and so typing a paper, it was just taking us such a long time, and I felt like the IEW really dominated our homeschool. Like it was the most time-consuming subject and really was taking the wind out of his sails. Like it was our hardest subject last year. And so I'm just trying to be aware of like, okay, it's going to be a little bit lighter like the first few months of doing it, and then it's really going to ramp up the last few months of doing it, and how can I adjust our grammar and other things based on that time, like based on knowing like, okay, he's going to need to spend more time on this in like the spring semester on the writing portion. So that's just kind of on my radar of how it's going to work. And I'm also hoping to really work on our typing in the fall, so that hopefully he's better and more efficient and quicker at typing, so everything will go a little bit quicker. That is the plan and the hope. Okay, we're going to try the Good and the Beautiful spelling. These books are not age specific, just so you know. I didn't realize that. Look at the color coding, y'all. Okay. All right, so we have that. I also still have the Spelling Wisdom from Simply Charlotte Mason, which I love. They have you memorize, so it's just straight up memory for the spelling words, but it goes over beautiful passages of poetry and literature and Bible verses, and I thoroughly enjoy reading them, and like I'm learning also, and I just thought they were fantastic. The last component of our language arts is this Gross Out Grammar from Hifalutin Homeschooler. And it is in color on the inside, which I was really excited about. I think I'm going to have both of my children do this. I'm really hoping that they kind of feed off of each other's energy and it becomes like a really positive time and just something where they're laughing and I'm laughing. And so I think it'll be good. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to fit it in, but I feel like with language arts this year, I'm like, I have options. We're going to learn so much. I feel like my 7th grader, my son, knows a lot about language arts and grammar. It doesn't always translate when he's writing. So we're having a little bit of a disconnect between like knowing and actually doing it, like just capitalizing the beginning of a sentence. I'm like, he's known that for years, but somehow it's not translating. So I'm hoping that we can just have fun, go over things more, and it'll sink in. For math this year, we are continuing with Shormann. It will be Algebra 1. I love Dr. Shormann. You know, we do the digital version, okay? So the textbook version wasn't available when we first bought it, and I'm so thankful because I love paper. I love holding stuff in my hands, and what if it's the end of the world? Like the power goes out, we need to learn math. Like, what are we gonna do? But the digital version is so easy to use. You get instant feedback on your answers, and also, if you don't know how to do an equation or how to do a problem, right above it, you can click and get the video or text version of how to do that problem. So it's just so easy to use. I love it. I love Dr. Shormann. He is a Christian man, a great role model. They do include Bible verses in some of the lessons or talk about prayer or just good morals, and I love that. Also, it is a very high level program. It is a college preparatory math program. So if your child is planning on going to college or you want them to be able to have that opportunity, I would highly recommend Shormann Math. For history this year, I am not doing Knotgrass. I love Knotgrass, okay, but I'm not doing it. I love their family so much. They are just the sweetest, most adorable family. This year, though, we are doing Compass Classrooms American History by Dave Raymond. Okay, I was just so inspired listening to Dave Raymond's sample videos and his introduction video, and I really hope that his enthusiasm for history comes across on the screen for my son. And I think it's great for my son to learn from other people and especially other men who are good examples. I really want that for my children to have strong male examples in their lives. And I felt inspired watching it. Okay, Dave Raymond said something. I felt so inspired. I wrote it down. I don't want to mess it up. I keep trying to tell you. I'm going to have to edit this a lot. I keep trying to tell you and I'm messing it up. So he talks about how culture has changed and how those ideas shape how people live. It shapes the choices that they make. And so I am super curious to learn more about this and hear him speak more about it, because when I do look at history, I see how the ideas we have at certain times shape how we live and the decisions that we make. And so I'm excited to learn with my son, and I think it'll be a really sweet time. All right, y'all, it's about to get a little awkward here. Let's jump into the SEX, okay? We've already done this book. We did this book called The Talk by Luke Gilkerson when my oldest was going into 5th grade. We just included my youngest also because they're very close, and it was like, how do you talk to somebody about it and not the other? And we didn't want it to be a big secret hush-hush thing, so we were just like, let's be super open right from the get-go. This is a black and white book. It's very small. You can finish it in about a week. We just did a lesson each night. My husband led it. Y'all, I'm much better at the on-the-fly conversations rather than a sit-down, and I had to like remove myself from the setting because I may have gotten the giggles and okay, I was a bad influence, okay, but we're just really trying to keep open lines of communication and not have any shame. It's just something that we want our kids to feel free to talk to us about at any time. And so far that's worked really well. So I think we're just going to keep going over, like we did this one, we'll probably do it again, and then we'll do the next one, the changes one about puberty. We might wait a little while to do the relationships one, but just want to encourage you to be talking and having open conversation. And yes, the goal is to just that like we go over it, and it's just part of what we do every year is we're going to go over it, and it'll be great. So, anyways, y'all, I'm already awkward. Okay, I am awkward. I'm already awkward, and I just thought let's just ramp it up a little bit more and really get awkward to everybody on the internet. Here we are. All right, some science that is not super awkward. We are trying something new this year. We are trying Royal Fireworks Press online courses for science. I signed my son up for the neuroscience course. It is only a semester long instead of 2 semesters, and so I thought that would be better to try it out to start so we're not locked into anything. And I just really struggled with science because my son knows so much about science. So a lot of regular homeschool courses, he will get frustrated because he's like, I already know this. It's so repetitive, and it really squashes his love of learning. So I hope this is a good fit. The professor, Dr. Krause, she has her PhD in neuroscience, and I've watched all of her Get to Know You videos, and I really think it's going to be a good fit and really spark my son's love of learning and his interest in the brain and just the human body in general. Like, I'm excited for it. Like, I kind of want to be like, can I also take the course? So that's what we're doing for science for the fall semester. For the spring semester, I got this God's Design for Chemistry and Ecology. They have the properties of atoms and molecules, the properties of ecosystems, the properties of matter. These are full color and they're laid out nicely. And yeah, we're just always learning science. We just have so many books, so many, we can go to the library, get books. We do Crunch Labs box. We watch Mark Rober videos. We watch other videos about science. I have naturally curious kids who are always asking about how things work, or what about this, or why that. And I'm like, I don't know. It's a lot of looking stuff up, and my husband loves those types of questions. And I'm like, oh good. Like, does anybody want to dance around the living room? Because I would be the person for that. All right, y'all, I'm winding down. I'm trying to wrap up quickly. For foreign language, we are doing Spanish. I have super struggled teaching Spanish. I don't speak Spanish, so I'm learning also. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of energy. I have so many curriculum fails. It is the subject that I have spent the most money on, and we have learned the least amount, 100%, okay? So I'm outsourcing Spanish, and hopefully we learn a lot, okay? The other thing we do is Greek. We use this, hey Andrew, teach me some Greek. My kids do this independently. My goal is not that they would speak or write Greek fluently. It's just exposure, and I think it's good for them. And I just decided we're doing this, and so far they've enjoyed it, and it hasn't been any extra effort from me since they do it independently. So that is foreign language. We start our mornings with Bible, hymns, prayers, scripture memory, World Watch News, and I have this little vocabulary SAT flip chart thing, flip word thing, and it doesn't matter how old your kids are, y'all. I mean, don't do super young kids, but my kids are 7th and 4th. We did this last year when they were 6th and 3rd, and they were learning it. They have to say the word 3 times in a day, and then they can get a piece of candy or a prize. And y'all, you'd be surprised what your kids can learn. And also, oh, this is the other thing I wanted to tell you. They can't say the word 3 times in a row, like right away. Like, I will let them say it like twice in the morning, and then once has to be like in the afternoon or evening. It's also super fun. Like, my husband will get in on it, and I'll be like, hey, say this word later. And then they'll be like, oh, you know, like, oh, you said this word, and that's our vocabulary word. It's just fun. It adds like a little bit of energy to it. Okay, this last portion is going to be rapid fire. It's things that I want to do. I'm not sure where it's going to fit into our day. I have this tendency to like plan so many things that we're going to learn and do, and I'm like, there is not enough time in the day. I don't have enough energy for all of these things. You know, sometimes at the end of the day, I'm like, here's dinner. I barely squeaked by making it. Okay, anyways, here we go. Cursive Logic. I want my son to be able to read cursive. I don't care as much about the writing, but we've already done this book and we're going to do some more of it, and just really want him to be able to read cursive for like letters from family or documents throughout history, and I think it's super important. So I love Cursive Logic. I love how it's laid out. I love the top spiral binding, y'all. In my opinion, everything should have top spiral binding. I just love it. My oldest is left-handed. Okay, A Child's History of Architecture. This is the art card portfolio, and it comes with this guide. And I just think architecture is interesting, and I thought it looked super cool, and I've been wanting to do this for several years. So there's that. These Christian Heroes Then and Now books. I have multiple ones of these, and I just really think they set a great example, and it's great literature to read and inspire our children. Great moral examples. Okay, poetry. We love silly poetry. Maybe this book is too young for my kids. We love silly stuff. These are poems by Ken Nesbitt. We love Shel Silverstein, and I also have like more mature poetry, okay? So we will get tea on Fridays from HTO. I love HTO. Okay, if y'all come to Texas, get HTO. It's so good. Anyway, so poetry. 5 in a row. I wanted to do more of this last year and we just didn't. It was a wild time. I had a very, very sick dog. Very sick. Y'all, don't even get, okay, I'm not going there. I'm not going there. It was taking so much time out of my day and was super stressful. 5 in a row. I love 5 in a row. I know my kids are getting older, but it's just such a great time to connect and be together. I found this book. It's Galen and the Gateway to Medicine by Jean Bendick. And I already started reading this and I was like, this is such a great book. So I want to incorporate this in some way. I think there's like a whole series of those. This book I got at Half Price Books. It's human geography and kind of like how people live and where and why and like the setup of like cities and towns and stuff. And it had quiz questions in here. This is not an official like homeschool curriculum book. It's like a public school curriculum. I know because I was looking for the answers. Okay, y'all, I was like, oh, what are the answers to these quiz questions? Because I was quizzing my husband and I could not find the book anywhere. And I was like, oh, it's a public school book. So you can't just like go get all the answers, you know, like that would be cheating. But anyways, I could just Google the answers or whatever. It was so interesting. Or I'll just know the answers from reading and having great reading comprehension. Okay. So this looked really interesting. I think my oldest son is going to be obsessed with it. I think he'll just find it really interesting. So this one. And y'all, you don't have to like follow age ranges on stuff. I hope you see that. Like some stuff we're doing is like technically for younger kids. Some stuff we're doing is technically for older kids. And you know what I think about age ranges? Okay, this is like a Christian channel. All right. Okay, I just don't like age ranges. Like we don't need to put our kids in a box. And if you are able to learn something that's set in a younger way, that's fine. If you're able to learn something that's set in an older way, that's fine. If you're passionate, okay, this is my example. My son was really into like viruses and bacteria for a while. He still kind of is, but like really into it. And he's like, I want more books about this stuff. And I was like, okay, some of the books I found were for younger kids. Some were for much older kids. But, you know, he was so interested in the topic. So it's like topic-based learning, like interest-based learning. And he was able to learn a lot. And I just don't want us to ever put our kids in an area of like, oh, you're, 10 years old. So here are the books that you can read. No. You can read any book you're interested in and that you find interesting. Maybe you like the pictures in a younger kid's book and that's fantastic. Maybe you like the information in an older kid's book and that's fine. Like it doesn't need to be younger kid's book, older kid's book. It's just a book. Okay. There's just information out there. I am done. Okay. This is Master's Books, A Child's Geography, Volume 3. You can do them in any volume. I think there's 4 total. And my beef with this book, y'all, I already have beef with it and I haven't even done it. I just thought the pictures were really beautiful and it was nice. They put the activities, like the pages, the worksheets in the textbook. So I don't understand if you're supposed to like buy a textbook for each child and like, why would I do that? So I don't know how we're going to do the worksheets or if we're for sure going to do this. I just thought it looked so good. And I thought my husband would enjoy doing it also. My husband is very like history oriented, like brainy, just like nerdy. Okay, we're a nerdy family. So those are all my picks and thoughts. I love talking about homeschool. If you have any questions about homeschool or just, encouraging comments, if you have a negative comment, I don't really need to hear it. Thank you. Move on. But I love talking about homeschool. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for everybody, whether you public, private, homeschool. When we all work together, we get the best results for everybody. And I just think it's a really beautiful, special thing that we have so many books available to suit each child's learning style and our teaching styles. And it's just incredible how God made each person unique with different giftings. And so really lean into your giftings. And I hope you guys have a fantastic year and I will see you soon.